We are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get up to 2 million incredibly fast funding without interest rates, no collateral, and no hard credit checks. But before I get into this, if you're watching this on the live, give me a hashtag live in the comments. If you will be here on the replay, you know a hashtag replay will be suffice. Now, I really want to get this one going, but before I do, I just want to know, how's your week going? Have you gotten business funding? I know many of you have. I've helped you out already, and if you're currently waiting, I'll do my best to get back to you. Did you just see how the light went down? So I'm in Vancouver, Washington, and the sun was beaming through. I just saw this cloud move out of the way and hovered over it. So that's how it got a little bit dark. So I'm going to have to go over here and turn on the light now. My dog Gizmo, he's in the back. You can see. He's getting comfortable over there. He's a little old man. So this is what I'm going to get into, how you can get up to 2 million incredibly fast funding. But before I do, it's very important that you know like what limitations you have, what can you qualify for, and what can you not get. I have so many people, and I've said this in just recently in another video, they want business term loans and they want these extended time frames. You want like a 36 to 60 months, 70 months. And if you're upset that you do not get that, I understand because I've been in your shoes. You're thinking you want something else, but you can't qualify for it. One second. Again, I had to put my dog Gizmo on the ground. I don't want him jumping off the bed. He's a little old now. He's 15 years of age, going into 16 on May. Very happy for him. He's been doing very well. Health-wise, he could be a lot better, but he still looks like his usual self, which is great. Great family dog, by the way. And so how to continue with this? People who want a business term loan, you're expecting these 36, 45, 60-month plans, but you cannot qualify for it. And even when you do, it's not worth it to you because you're not doing some kind of a large purchase. You don't need it maybe for you don't have some kind of expansion going on, a huge working capital purchase that it's going to have to require a monthly term with those types of higher interest rates. You don't have some kind of real estate property to invest in. And there are other things too. And so many of you guys want those, Michael, what is it that I'm going to have to do to get a 48-month? I'll do anything. But if you don't meet the requirements, and some of these are, you don't have at least in the 600 plus range. Look at that, the light coming back on. You don't have at least in the 640, 650 plus, preferably 680, if not even better, 700. You don't have the time in business. There it goes again. You don't have at least it depends on the service, but if you don't have at least 2 plus, even better, 3+ years of business, you can forget about it. And then there's a revenue component. It can be 100K, it can be 200K. A lot of programs prefer there to be 300K per year. And if you don't meet those requirements, you are not going to get a longer term. And it doesn't even make sense. And I've spoken to so many of you who are like, I need working capital. I'm speaking to a few people right now who are contractors, and I've always had contractors coming to me that are like, can I get a longer term? And it doesn't make sense. And for what you are wanting to get, when I ask you, hey, what's the type of funding you want? Okay, but what exactly are you going to use these funds for? I needed to use to get this. I need to hire more staff. And then I need to get some larger equipment. Oh, okay. And then you have the qualifications. So it makes sense. We can actually do a business term loan. Let's try to help you with that. But even if you do qualify, again, it doesn't always make sense to do it. Again, if you're just joining in on this live, we're going to be talking about how to get up to 2 million incredibly fast funding and just see some other alternative options to you. And I'll leave more of this down below in the description if you're later watching this on YouTube. If you're here in the group, and you're watching it, I'll try to leave a comment so you're seeing it from there. But if it's not streaming there, it's okay. Now, about the business term loans and longer terms versus short term, this is what you are going to see in the industry. A lot, over at least 80-90% of the population will be accepted for some type of a shorter term loan. It's much harder to get qualified for term loans, and the qualification process, the documentations, the application process, the amount of time it takes, it can be a little bit more extended depending on the file, but it's usually really fast. But the cash advance space, what you have to realize is, look, if you fit in this bubble where you can get 1 to 2x of your monthly because you're doing 20 plus per month in revenue, 20K plus, okay, great, 1 to 2x, but we still have to consider, what is your personal credit score? Does it even have enough juice for our underwriters, myself, the lenders, to say, okay, we can actually lend you, if you wanted 100K and you're doing 50K, we can say we can do 1 to 2x. Do you think you're going to get that 100K 100% of the time? No. The expectations are, look, let's see what your credit score is at, and if it makes sense, we can get you closer to it with a few other factors in there. But the majority of the time, people will not qualify for that amount, and you shouldn't be upset. You wanted 100K, you didn't get it, so be it. Let's say you get approved for 60K. Then what you can do is take those funds and use it for what you need. It might be partial, it might be more than partial. And then what you do next is you come back and you get more. You take that other 40K out and you continue. Pay it off faster, we can add more into your account. But if you want it all at once, it doesn't happen that way. Do you go and apply for an SBA loan and you say, oh, I'm going to get what I asked for? Not entirely. I have family who's applied for SBA loans and all these other types, PPP loans. They don't get what they want, but they take what they can get. And the thing with alternative lenders too is, if you accept an amount, you don't always have the flexibility to go and apply for another merchant and try to get approved for another load. That's what a lot of people will do in this industry. We take loans into consideration and cash advances, but if you get approved for one here, stick to it. Don't go off trying to get it out from a different account so then you all have it all at once. It doesn't always work that way. Not every company will allow you to do that, and they'll especially give you more. So now let me get into the share screen here and go over the how to get up to 2 million, then how to get in contact with me. Actually, I want to show you that right away, and I put this in a different video. So let me use the share screen feature. Okay, so I made a video recently showing you guys how to get in contact with me, the fastest way for me to respond. There are a few ways. That's me talking to you personally in a chat, in a text message. It can be a phone call if necessary. I don't take every phone call, like I've said before, because it's about my energy and it's about my time. I have to be as efficient as I can. I run multiple businesses. And so if you want to get a hold of me, I'll leave this down below in the description. Once this video concludes, or I'll try to do it a little bit later, but you're just going to put some details like your name, your email, phone number, funding amount that you are requesting, the FICO credit score, the time in business is the years or months, please specify that, monthly sales, use of funds, it is drop down there, and then any additional notes that you feel like I need to know about, put that in there. So if, for example, if you're trying to get equipment, it would be very helpful if you tell me the kind of equipment you want, because it does matter, and it depends on what type of funding you want and so forth. So there's going to be this form that looks like it, more or less. It could be a little bit different. It can change from time to time. But what then will happen is I'll get in contact with you. Send me that information. It'll go into my Gmail, and this is where I have it. And I'm looking at it at the moment. So many people today have already filled it out, and I'll go through it. Some of you guys haven't been responded to. That's okay. I have to prioritize the files sometimes. I have to say, okay, this person has all the fundability. I have to take this one first, and then I'll come back to it. And don't be disappointed with what you can get offered. Don't feel like that's what you're only going to be limited to in the future. Like when you move forward and you start growing and expanding your business, you're in the position right now where everybody else was. Somebody who's doing 100K per month. I have people who are doing millions per month, but they weren't always there. They can tell you, they can even speak to you and say, hey, this is not where I began. You have to know that there was a certain situation at my time where I didn't get access to growth and expansion, but I got there over time. It won't always happen in a day. So now let me bring this up. This is the David Allen Capital program where you can get up to 2 million incredibly fast funding. Many of you have already seen this program and know about it. You've either gone funding through them or you would like to get help. Now, this is where you get a lump sum of working capital to use as you choose. You can use it for equipment, payroll, marketing and advertising, cash flow, emergency funds. That list can go on and on. Now, I've made a separate video of this. I'll link to down below in the description that goes through it more thoroughly. But this is where you can get incredibly fast funding within a day's worth of approval, within a day or two, funds deposited into your account. You can use as you choose, and even as much as a week, depending on the file that we're looking at. So just imagine that, being able to get access to up to 2 million, incredibly fast funding. You get it, it's into your account, deposited very quickly, as opposed to waiting for some type of an SBA loan. You're waiting for some kind of maybe of a business term loan where you maybe not even get accepted and it's not even worth going through. And you have these funds into your account. You look at them when they're sitting in there. You can pick them up almost physically. You feel like they're in your hands, but you're going to be able to disperse this all over your business and use it as you choose. You may have a working capital need. Somebody else may have some kind of equipment need. You need to use it for payroll, for bills, for all these different purposes. So now you get that. You push it into your business. And what does it do back to you? It rewards you by helping your customers. It puts you in a growth and an expansion phase to a point now where you can say, hey, I don't have to continue to take money out of my savings account. I don't have to actually turn to a bank at all. I don't have to turn to friends and family for help. In fact, I can actually kick back a little bit more on the evenings, or I don't even have to be as worried or stressed about what is going to happen. What is my day going to look like every morning that I wake up and I have this alarming thought? That won't be on the back of my mind, in my conscious or my subconscious. And so now you can take some more time, that money that you have saved up in your account, how your business is rewarding you with profits. You get to go on that vacation you want. You get to pay for your kids' college tuition one day. This quote unquote debt isn't a debt because you profited. You took what you could and you used it. Maybe it wasn't everything you wanted in one, but you come back and you get more. That's how business owners do this. That's what I've done. So don't expect it to be anything different if you don't have the qualifications. That is just some hard truth. You know, my brother and I were speaking last night. It was my mom's birthday. We went out and we were just talking about, hey, how's your real estate business going? How's real estate investing? How's real estate financing? How is the world of real estate agents going? And he just told me how he has a few people on the fence and how they have these quote unquote unrealistic expectations, but it's okay. We've all been there. I understand the position when you're first getting started or you're going elsewhere. You don't always get access to what you want, but you will get access to what you can take. And that's what's very important. Now, let me get back into this screen. So when the big banks can't help, the SBA can't, we're here to help you. If you missed out on the SBA EIDL, the PPP loan, and you can still get a lump sum of working capital or for however you choose, then David Allen Capital is the way to go. Generally, these are 50% less expensive than what you would expect to see out in the marketplace. If I showed you other programs, which I do on this channel, you've probably already thought, okay, yes, these aren't as expensive as I thought they were going to be. They actually give you more flexibility. And here are the qualifications that I will go into. Again, this will be down below. So again, when your bank or the SBA can't help, we can, and you can get up to 2 million incredibly fast. Within a day of a decision, within a day or two of funds deposited into your account, as much as a week. Again, it can even extend depending on your circumstances. So small business focus, top rated providers, you get to use the money as you choose. Qualification, it is very simple. For this one, all you need is 4 months in business. A business can reside anywhere in the US. Your personal credit score is less of a factor. In fact, we look at a 500 plus. Monthly revenue is mostly what we base this off of. So if you have strong revenue but poor credit, you can still get approved. You can still get approved for a certain amount, depending on what we looked at in your file. Industry, over 700 industries have been served. And just a few things, we calculate on total payback between a 1.19 to a 1.49 is what you can expect to pay back in return. So what does that quickly look like? And I made a separate video on the whole payback. What are the rates, if anything? Down below, I'll link that so you can view it. But let's say you get approved for 50,000. So what would be the payback at the lowest? You would expect to pay 9,500 back. So a total of 59,500, which is very reasonable. 9,500. If you're doing 50K per month, without doing further math, calculus, statistics, the numbers are in your favor if you're consistently doing well in revenue. So if you're doing 50K per month, maybe you had one lower month at 45K and you had another one at 40K, but the trend is 40, 45, and then 50, we might allow you to have more. And then when we look at one of your lowest months, we might base it off of that, depending again on the trajectory. So if we see the trajectory kind of in an increase and we've spoken to you and we know how your business is doing, the health of it, we can approve you for more. But we're also considering the credit score. Does the credit score even make sense? Does your background check come out as planned? So those are just a few of the many factors that we can look at. But don't be picky is my thing, because if you become picky, you won't get anything. And if you wait too long, you'll get less than what you think you can get approved for. So going back to this page, do you even qualify? Why DAC? What does the cost entail? There are no costs to get started. It won't hurt your credit score. We do a soft pull. And again, you're getting a lump sum. But here's where it even gets sweeter. You can get up to 25,000 same day instant approval with their Bank Breezy Get Up to 25K Today program. There isn't anything else out there on the market like that, bar none. And I work with various programs and lenders, and I know what they're doing. So how does this work? Immediate approvals. You're just doing 5,000 plus per month in bank revenue, preferably within the last 3 months. Business checking account, 6 months in business, a 450 plus FICO credit score, and then all industries are welcomed. A breezy online process. It's simple and fair. Get more when you need it. If you need more than 25K, you do the up to 2 million service. It's that simple. And then you just go through the process. You're going to come to a page that looks like this. It's going to be a partnership with the Biddy Advance program. So don't be alarmed if you come to this page and it says app.Biddy Advance. That's who we've partnered with, one of the leading merchants in this industry. And we're going to be taking care of you very well. And I have an application process video and content on how this works. So I won't get into that in this one here. But that's what is to be expected, how you can get up to 25,000 same day instant approval service. Now, let me move this out of the way. Again, I won't cover everything, the qualifications, how it works, break down the numbers. Likely I've done that already with you. But submit a contact form. Down below, I'll leave it in the description. So you can give me those details. I'll analyze it. I'll look through it all. I'll even ask you more questions if need be. But please look out for that email. I'll be sending it back to you. This is going to be the fastest way possible. There are other options too. Sure, there are other lump sum. I talked earlier in this video about business term loans. But can you qualify? And if you did qualify, does it even make sense? Lenders are looking for, do you have at least 2+? We can work with 3, even 5 months, but it's in selected states and you may not get approved for as much and you might not get the terms you want. But also, do you have the time in business with those 3+ years? Do you have a great credit score, preferably a 700, even in the 600 plus range? Do you have the right revenue? And revenue is a huge factor when we're doing these types of things. You have to consider when we do a business term loan, cash flow, credit, collateral. Do you have those 3 things in place? You might be asked for collateral. It isn't always unsecured. You'll get secured business term loans where you're asked to put some kind of collateral, but not all of them work that way. It just depends on the funding criteria and the type of business. But for the most part, if you're looking to get, the other day, I had somebody tell me why they couldn't get the funding that they wanted in the auto sales, used auto sales. Reason being is if you're not doing 100K, preferably 200K per month in revenue, we can't get you 1 to 2x of your monthly revenue. You might be able to apply for a different service, but it's a very high risk injury. No lender will want to give anything there because it's very sporadic. It can be spontaneous. It can combust, right? Like a chemical reaction. Now, those are the problems within just one industry. But overall, if you're looking for some type of a cash advance, Don't be disappointed again if you don't get the business term loan. But there are business lines of credit, and I won't get into that. What programs in this video? I'll leave content to that. But you don't get a lump sum. Instead, you get approved for, let's say, you can get 100,000, but you don't want to use this all up at once. Instead, I only want to take out 10,000 for a certain season or for a certain reason. I have cash flow that I don't want to get hurt. I have emergency funds that are coming up that I want to use for maybe some type of regular working capital, maybe an equipment. It can work similarly to a working capital loan, but you don't get a lump sum all at once. But the questions are, do you qualify? And if you're a complete startup company, I'll leave information, grants, and all that down below. But as a startup, yes, you are very limited. You could do some kind of 401k financing, IRA financing, take out some kind of equity, liquidity. But do you want to go to that extent? You have crowdfunding, you have grants. Everybody's looking for a grant. They're very hard to get approved for. One came out, oh, I got to go apply. Look at all the YouTubers. How many of these people, and I'm not going to say I'm not guilty of it, but I don't release them as much because they're sporadic. Where's the next grant, Michael? Great question. Why don't you have a video up of it yet? Maybe, but the reason I don't is because they come and they go. And everybody who's trying to release to you a new grant is quote unquote looking for subscribers, or looking for more leads for something else. And so I'm not saying I don't ever do that. What I'm saying is I don't do it as consistently right now. I've released a lot of SBA content that I'll also link to down below in the description. So if you want to know anything about the reconsideration, make sure you refer to that and ask me questions if need be, because I can answer them for you. I have information, but I won't always have it all. There's some information that doesn't get released. The loan officers may have it. These lenders do, but I don't. They can't release it. And so I'll do my best to answer them, but you have options. Look what I have on screen is the BIDI Advance, how you can get up to 25,000 same day instant approval, a lump sum that you just expect to pay back. And if it is too costly to you, the benefit, it does not exceed the repayment. We're not looking to save your business. We're looking to help you grow and expand, build. And build, quote unquote, can mean saving, but build off of what? Getting out of a tight pinch as well. So don't put yourself in a position that you are like, I need saving, I need this PPP loan, I need this EIDL, and I don't have to ever pay something back or a grant. And get out of your comfort zone, get out of your own head, because what you're looking at online, as opposed to what you get on the bank, yes, relatively it is more expensive, but can you get funding anywhere else? So I have a lot of applicants right now. I have a lot of people on TikTok trying to get my attention, and I'm going to comment to you guys like I did last night. I'm going to go through all my messages and all my comments, but go through the contact form. That's one of the fastest ways. If you add your phone number, I can send you a text message. I don't bombard. I'm not that hassle type of person. In fact, I don't even like getting on phone calls. I'm not that New Yorker who's trying to call in and say, hey, I'm going to try to get you a hard money loan. No, oh, you don't apply for it? You don't want to qualify for it? Okay, here's another option. Or, oh, you don't want this, but I'm gonna need you to get it. I don't do none of that. That's weird. So I'll give you your options, and if you don't have any and you're limited, my high recommendation, and if you can use that to stay stable and to profit and it won't hurt your cash flow, then you take it. One example before I end the video here, let me move this out of the way. Actually, this way. Here we go. So I've had people come to me. I will never get a daily payment loan or a daily payment cash advance. Never again. Loan sharks, all these different terms. It's not what they are. It's your position. How have you positioned yourself to get the funding? I've had people who get it for working equipment loans. Like, and I'm not going to single people out here, but, I've been in conversations with some people who are like very dissatisfied because they got a working capital loan, and it's on both parties. It's the person who's trying to help you get that, and it's yourself. The person might be trying to push you here. They're thinking, oh, he doesn't qualify for a traditional equipment loan. A business line of credit wouldn't make sense. Even a business term loan, but I can get him a cash advance because maybe that's the only thing I know. So even if he wants equipment that's 150, 180K, so be it. I'm going to earn a commission. I don't do that. Me, I want you to get value. I want to get to know you. I have a few people coming up in a few weeks who have taken the pleasure to get to know them better. The wife, the spouses, their family, how's their life going? I want to really take the time. You know, we had a few laughs the other day about a few things, and it was amazing stuff. And these are the things that I look for. So don't be discouraged if whatever you're getting is what only you can get. You're an entrepreneur. You're a business owner. It's time to start thinking like one. And if you're too afraid, to go out there and be resourceful and look for these types of things yourself, especially when it comes to grants, right? Don't think the people that are releasing grant videos online are like wizards and are saviors. In a way, they look like that. But look in your county, look again in your state, look in the states, the country, look all around you and see what is being offered and what you can get into. And I'm going to continue to update my docs for 2022 on all that. But that's it on this end of the funding. Very quickly, to continue on the equipment loan that somebody could have gotten, they shouldn't have taken it. They wanted a lot of trucks and they got them, but you're left with this. Let me see if I did the math on all of that. If you got funding for 150,000 more or less, so I know the criteria without knowing the credit score can factor in. So if you got something for 150,000 for equipment, usually the terms you're going to look at it about 8 or 9 to 12 months. If your credit score is in like a 675, maybe a 640 plus, and you don't have at least 2+ years in business, but you meet the revenue, that's how you got the amount. So if you got that, you might be a higher risk. So what are we looking into the payback? It depends on each company how we use factor rates and APRs. But just in a general sense, if we did it at the highest amount, one of the highest amounts, what are you expecting here to pay? $253,500. So do you think you can pay that in 9 to 12 months? Now, it varies on the different industries. So especially if you're in the trucking industry, that's going to take a huge bite because look at what's circulating around that industry. What happened in Colorado? But aside from what happened there, that has nothing to do with this. It's a seasonal change. Maybe a tire blew out and you need a quick fix. I can help you with it. In fact, a lot of people come to do that. And though a $253,500 payment times, let's say 3, maybe that's $660,500 you might end up having to pay back, depending on how much funding you got. Again, maybe it's 150 for all 3 or 4 or 5 trucks, however much it was. But can you pay that back? Yes, you can maybe get more, up to 18 months is what you'd see in bigger cases. You can even get 24 months. But the reason you don't get as much in terms is because you haven't proven yourself. Why should I, as a lender, say I'm going to give Johnny over here, 24 months, the max, because they feel like they deserve it? I think I have a salesman at the door. By the way, I'm no like fancy salesperson. If you've been following me for some time, maybe better at marketing because I've learned those skill sets over time. I actually run other businesses. I have a health business in the affiliate marketing space. I've done digital marketing agency. I do that still to a degree. I don't do it as heavily as I used to, but I do come up with like these marketing / sales plans. And then I have a few other things that I have going for me too. But this is what you need to keep in mind. Every single file that I've worked with and all the lenders and the underwriters, they come to me and they tell me the same, thing. Putting it politely, right? Without using I don't curse. But you won't get the terms you want based upon how you feel about what you should get. And I've had people just recently kind of just diverge. They went the other direction. Like, they're probably in their own mind thinking, this guy's a fool. He's telling me I can't get 36 to 60 months. Good luck. Case closed. I'm not needing to spend any more energy. I don't need to convince somebody. when the details and the facts and the numbers speak for themselves. So take what you can get. What do we learn from this video? Take what you can get, maximize it. Will it keep you stable? Will it put you in profit? If not, there's no need. What do? You improve your business. How do you do that? You improve the foundation first. That's what you got to look at. Maybe you're over here working like 10 different things, but the foundations aren't where they need to be. The organization and the structure of your business, vital. You got to take these things into heart, because I tell people this all the time and they kind of ignore it, or those who do take it, they run with it and they come back to me in like 4 or 5 months. Yes, I can finally get funding. What you said was helpful. I've gotten people too. I'm so grateful and humble because I go the extra mile. So I have a lady who got declined for funding, has something to do with the bank statements. I looked through them and I had a feeling of what it is. But I also wanted to check with my underwriters and the lenders, and hopefully she'll get a response here soon, but it usually will come out to be the same thing, what a starting and ending balance is, the kind of deposits, the type of withdrawals that are being taken out of an account. When we factor in the types of withdrawals and the type of deposits, and we look at also the credit history with the FICO or business credit, and we see it's not sustainable, there's something in that account that says to us, no, we can't. And that's what I kind of saw. But I go the extra mile because somebody else would have been like, you cannot get anything. Go apply for this, and you never hear back from them. Is that true or not? So would you rather go deal with somebody who does that to you, somebody who's in your ear chirping at you? You don't want somebody to be doing that. I'm a listener like all of you guys are. I talk less. I'm on video now because I really want to give you guys value. Don't think I like just getting on a video to hear myself speak. I hate it. Once I get off of this, I'm going to go take a break, relax, and be very quiet, honestly. And this isn't some kind of a rant video, but hopefully you got value out of this. I'll leave information again down below in the description so you can get all the details on how to get funding. If you're looking for other opportunities, by the way, I spoke to a lady not too long ago. We had a great conversation over the phone, and it was kind of funny because she told me, I brought up the fact that my energy and time, and she understood. And how I said, yeah, I run all the multiple businesses. I have affiliate marketing. She goes, oh, I tried affiliate marketing. And she goes, well, it didn't work too well for me because I couldn't just sit still, throughout the day for a couple of hours. I couldn't do that. And I understand because I've been in that situation in one of my 9-to-5 roles. I didn't just sit down every single second. I had to be up and walking. But then it came to that too. So those are other opportunities that you can take advantage of online. That's what I release on this video, on this channel. Excuse me. But that'll conclude everything. Thank you guys for being here. Don't ever be shy to comment back. If you have any questions at any time when you're watching on these lives, feel free to leave me a comment. Maybe I can't see it right now. Sometimes, I'm not the most techiest person. But that'll conclude everything in this video. And again, let me know if you ever need any help, and I'll be there for you. Thank you. Bye.